Hey everybody, this is Troy Alexander, Inspiration with Troy Alexander one more time. We are excited tonight about our show tonight. It's going to be inspiring, uplifting. I'm telling you right now, we're getting ready for something great. We have an amazing guest tonight. But listen, before I introduce her and her amazing bio and journey thus far in life, listen, I got to tell you the purpose and the mission of our show. Our show every week comes on to inspire you to dream, take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny, y'all. This is the purpose of our show. We bring on amazing guests that have achieved amazing plateaus in life to encourage you to take your next step and to never give up on your dreams. I'm telling you right now, stay connected with us, y'all. Listen, we are on Facebook. We're on YouTube, Inspiration with Troy Alexander. Listen, we're on Instagram at Pick by Design. Okay, listen, I'm telling you right now, we are getting ready to go into a greater place of inspiration today. I got to check one more thing real quick. Okay, Mom, I think we're good. All right. Listen, y'all, my producer is give me a signal. But we are excited tonight about everything that is happening. And listen, I'm excited about what is going on. I'm getting my signal. Jamie, hold on one second, Jamie. I want to get my my broadcast just set up just right. There we go. Hold on one second. I'm going to check my privacy. There we go. Listen. There we go. Listen, it's about learning how to adjust in life. Isn't that right, Jamie? I'm telling you, listen, life is about learning how to adjust. Are we good, producer? All right. Thank you so much. Listen, stay connected with us. We're on Instagram at Pick by Design. I love taking pictures. Stay connected. Our website is picturesbydesign.smugmug.com. Listen, y'all, we are getting ready for something greater destined for our life. I want to give a quick shout out to a young lady by the name of Taylor Moxie. Listen, follow her on Instagram. Listen, she is building libraries out of cargo containers for neighborhoods and communities that want to encourage the young people to read. So please connect with her, Taylor Moxie. All right, we got a thumbs up from the producer. Listen, follow her, Taylor Moxie, on Instagram. She is building, she's asking for donations for her next library that she's building in Haiti. So continue to follow her and support her because she is truly, truly amazing. Listen, I got one point of purpose that I want to share with you real quick, and then I'm going to introduce our amazing guest. I shared today about the power of the seed. And in order for the corn or what's inside the seed to begin to grow, it has to break out of its shell. I'm encouraging you today, listen, you've already been planted. And so now it's the ability to connect yourself with people that are inspiring, that are uplifting, that can feed into you and encourage you to take that step. Because listen, you got to break out of fear, doubt, uncertainty, whatever it might be. It is important for us to keep that mindset that we're going to break out of this because you were born for this. And I know that Jamie's getting ready to come on. One more thing. Listen, we are starting this week, our first back-to-back show. Tomorrow night, we have an amazing young lady. She is Miss Lexington Teen USA 2021. She is 17 years old, and she has her own business. She's a CEO of a formal wear company and more. Listen, don't miss it tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am about to introduce our amazing guest right now. Her name is GEIMI RENEE CHISM. Listen, just a brief overview of her bio. She has a degree in Aerospace Engineering with a concentration in Astronautics. And she is employed as a software engineer in Colorado. She is 2019 Mrs. All-Star United States. And listen, she is pursuing a master's degree in machine learning and artificial intelligence. I can't wait to talk about that, Jamie. And listen, she is a mountain climber, as you can tell by her background, right? She's a volunteer climbing instructor, and she mentors youth and young adults. Listen, let's welcome GEIMI RENEE CHISM to our show. Thank you so much, Jamie, for being a part of our show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Awesome. We are so excited to have you. And listen, I first want to give a shout out to Evelyn McLeod. She is the one that introduced us, that connected us at the Miss Next Level Pageant and Mentoring Gala. And I'm so excited about that. So thank you, Evelyn. We love you. We appreciate you. And we're so just grateful for you for making this connection.
Yes,
So
thank you, everyone.
yes. I was
We love
go
you.
ahead. Thank you so much, Evelyn. And listen, I got to ask you, tell me your name. Now we say Jamie,
Yes.
but it's spelled G-E-I-M-I.
Yes.
Now, does it have a meaning to it?
So my dad actually, it was Japanese spelling. My dad lived in Japan for quite a while. And so when I was born, my parents chose my name and he decided to spell it the Japanese way. So that's why it's spelled so differently.
That is truly amazing. And does it have a meaning to it, or it's just spelled the Japanese way?
Nope, that's the pronunciation.
Okay, awesome. Wonderful. Well, listen, we are so listen, I gotta ask you, you have a degree in aerospace engineering?
Mm-hmm.
And now what does astronautics and what does that act like for me who have no clue what that is? Tell us what that is.
Yeah, so aerospace engineering as a whole is kind of just either aircraft or spacecraft. It kind of encompasses all of that. And so my concentration in astronautics is more the spacecraft side. So instead of designing airplanes, my focus is in designing spacecraft. So satellites, like the Dragon capsule you see for SpaceX. I've taken courses in designing something similar to that. So it's more space focused versus airplanes.
Wow, that is, listen, I'm in awe of you already, right? For the first few seconds. Now, what inspired you to go in that direction?
So my dad's also an engineer, and growing up, we worked on cars together. We built model rockets together. I had chemistry sets, like a home planetarium. So I've always just loved like math and science. And I remember learning about the Apollo 11 mission when I was really little and just being so in awe of what the astronauts were doing.
Wow.
That I was just like, I fell in love with it. I'm like, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it.
Wow.
You just get that feeling where you're like, I love this. This is what I'm going to pursue. So since I was probably 9 years old, I've known just, I love outer space. I love space exploration, everything about it. And so, yeah, I decided at 9, like, this is what I'm going to do, and just kept on going ever since.
Listen, everybody, she is amazing. I'm telling you. Listen, I thought about Wonder Woman. I'm like, she's this amazing woman, and I'm like aerospace engineering, and and I hear you're talking about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what influence, because you touched upon it a bit, but what influence would you say he's had in your journey thus far?
I mean, I really enjoyed our time together doing those things, working on cars or whatnot, but just him really taking the time to answer all my questions, kind of being an engineering mindset, so young, I was always asking, well, why?
Right.
He always took the time to just explain to me, like, well, this is why, and okay, well, what about this? And he would, kind of answer that question, and we'd have a dialogue about it. And so just him really taking the time to not only answer my questions, but he was also really encouraging. So I think that had a huge part to play.
Wonderful. So you were that child that just asked a lot of questions.
Yes.
Why is this, like, why is the sun this way, or why does the star like what? Yes. Like you just kept asking a lot of questions.
Yeah. But he didn't mind it. It worked out. So.
Right. No, I love it. And what you just said, Jamie, is people should never be afraid to ask a question. Mm-hmm. Right? If you don't know, ask. It's about knowledge. Now, did you have any other role models in terms of going in that direction other than your dad? Like, did you know anyone that was going in that direction as well?
No, but I remember, as I said, learning about Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong being the first person on the moon. I really latched on to him. And so I remember reading like his biography, and Neil Armstrong was an aerospace engineer. So that's where I kind of found, that field of work. So I've looked up to Neil Armstrong, Mae Jemison, the first African-American astronaut woman. I looked up to her. So I had these idols that were doing the things I wanted to be doing. And so I read about, well, how did they get there? And kind of sort of modeled my steps in life after what they were doing.
Love it. I love it. Now, do you want to go into space, or have you gone
Um,
into space? I don't want to assume. Have you been to space?
no, I would love to.
Wow, that's all. So, are you making plans? Listen. If anybody can do it, Jamie can do it. Because listen, when you hear more about her journey and her ability and her drive. So, do you want to go to space? You said yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely do. I feel like as far as pursuing like an astronaut route here, probably not so much, but I've found in my hobbies that it's very similar. You know, mountain climbing exploration is similar to kind of space travel, just here on Earth and less expensive.
Absolutely. Well, I am joking. What would you say in terms of your degree and your education and that pursuit? What would you say was the biggest challenge for you, or did you have one?
My degree was absolutely challenging. College for me was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work.
Mm,
While people were going out on weekends, I was in the library till 4 in the morning.
wow,
Um, and
wow,
I think it was absolutely worth it. I loved college, but it was incredibly challenging,
wow.
especially as a girl. That was,
Oh, well, listen,
yeah.
I want to ask you, like, what now you talked about how you couldn't go out all the time and I guess to different events.
Mhm.
Was there more, or was it just really that? Because I know when folks think about college and they think about just going out, have not all the time, but just enjoy. But you were focused more so on your books.
Yeah. So I remember freshman year, I was actually offered a position as a student researcher for the NASA Space Grant Program.
Oh
And that's
wow.
typically reserved for, juniors and seniors. So as a freshman, it was amazing that opportunity kind of came to me.
Yes.
And I accepted. So if I wasn't, doing schoolwork or studying, I was in the labs working on my research because each year you had to present the research that you'd worked on for the last year. And it was a huge symposium. Got to
Yes.
work on your speaking skills, research skills, like writing skills. So I was always pretty
Wow.
busy.
Wow, I can imagine. And I wanna just go a little bit deeper in that just for a little bit, Jamie, because I think it's important for especially for our young people, right?
Yeah.
Um, to to know, they call it sacrifice or what did it cost you? Um,
Mhm.
talk about the focus that you had to have, like
Yeah.
during that time because you had a goal in mind.
Right. It feels like I didn't have to sacrifice much of, the social aspect of college because I did still join a sorority. I
Awesome.
was, president of the Society of Women Engineers. I
Wow.
ran a belly dance club on campus.
Go,
So I was
Jamie.
still doing other things to involve
Yes,
myself with the
yes.
student body, but I
Yes,
was also very focused on my
yes.
education. My
Awesome.
parents taught me from, gosh, probably before I was born, how important education was. So it was, I'm here, I'm going to focus for 4 years, I'm going to graduate, learn everything I can, but I still wanted to kind of have fun along the way too.
Awesome, awesome. Listen, I don't know how like how did you sleep? Because
Uh,
I mean, with your classes and everything you're involved in, I mean, did you get much sleep in college?
I did actually. I'm proud to say I did not pull any all-nighters. Well,
Wow.
I guess if you count till 4 a.m.
I told you everyone, she's Wonder Woman. I'm telling you, she is like unbelievable. I mean, I am just really in awe of you. And I don't find many people involved in sort of the space, the NASA kind of world. And
Mhm.
then I want to ask you about being a woman.
Yeah.
What did you did you feel or did you observe anything in terms of being a woman going into this field and what did you experience in that way?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember freshman year, our first kind of engineering project for all incoming freshmen were these Lego robots. And my roommate and I were the only girls on our team. And so I remember after the first lecture, a professor, leaves the room and is like, "Okay, go work in your small groups." And the boys on the team looked at my roommate and I and they said, "Okay, we'll do the design work and then you guys can write the paper afterwards."
Oh wow. Oh
Um,
my
and
goodness.
yeah, and so, we were like, "What? Like, we're here, we're engineers too, like, that's not
Right.
cool."
Right. Absolutely.
So we ended up coming into the lab after hours, redesigning the robot. It ended up working better than what the boys had decided.
Okay, okay. Wow.
And so we kind of had to prove our worth that way, but it worked out.
Wow, awesome. That's amazing. Well, listen, I want to give you applause right now, everyone. Listen, this is the amazing GEIMI Renee Chism. And listen, we have so much more to talk about. But again, I think just to hear your journey, it's so inspiring. And I definitely want to get to the point where, because you talk about how you want to be an inspiration to girls, right? To young girls. And we can go there now, and then we'll add some more to it. Why is inspiring young girls, why is that important to you?
Yeah, because I don't think that young girls coming into engineering or any STEM field, math, any other science, should have to go through what I did. I think it should not be, boys versus girls. It should be accepted across genders. Women's ideas and inputs in STEM fields should be just as valued as the male input. So that's why I've made it, my goal since college actually to bring more girls into those STEM fields, just so it becomes normal,
Wow, I love it. I love it. And you use the word STEM. Now tell us what that is.
Science, technology, engineering, and math. So
Yes,
these would be
yes.
all of the scary subjects.
Well, I'm seeing so many more go into STEM. It's
Mhm.
really become a very popular
And that's
field.
great. I love that.
Yes, I love it too. It's amazing. Now, let me ask you, have you ever spoken to like girl groups? Like, do you go around and talk to young people about your journey?
Yeah, all throughout college, that was one of our main goals of the Society of Women Engineers.
Yeah,
And then when I first entered the workforce as a young engineer, my company had a women's group. And
awesome.
so all throughout the year, actually, we would go to middle schools or hold events. We'd build rockets with young girls.
Wow.
We would have a panel afterwards where they could just ask us questions, sort of like, how did you get there? What if I don't like math? Is that okay? um,
Wow.
Things like that.
Awesome.
So yeah, I've worked with young girls since I was 18 years old.
Wow, I love it. I love it. And she still looks 18, everyone. Listen, when you meet her in person, like I mean, like
Oh, thank
you're
you.
what? You're like, no, no. It's like you just but amazing, amazing, amazing. And again, I can't thank Evelyn so much again, McLeod, for introducing us, and just meeting you was an honor. I mean, it was just a privilege.
I loved meeting you too, and Evelyn is such an angel. Love
Yes,
her.
she
Yes.
is. Yes, she is. Love you, Evelyn. So I gotta ask you, like with all of that focus, where did pageantry come into your journey? I
So
mean, you're yes.
got into pageants. I got a letter in the mail, probably around the time I turned 18. It was just like, you could be the next, Miss USA. Uh, and I thought, okay, that sounds cool. Because before college, I just kind of had done karate. I was a runner, wasn't really too girly. And so I was like, oh, that sounds kind of fun. I'll give that a try. And so that kind of was my introduction into the pageant world at 18.
At
And
18.
so did terribly. um, and then took some
Well, listen, we all have to start
school.
someplace. Right? But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. But, in that failure, I left disappointed. Like, no, I didn't win. I didn't even place. But I left that failure thinking that was a lot of fun. How can I get better?
Right, right, right.
Mm.
And what you just said, Jamie, is so powerful. And I think I want everyone to hear that again. You said, and if I get it wrong, you said even through your failures, you wanted to get better.
Yes.
And so many people, when they don't make it or don't achieve what they want to the first time, they never go back. So what is it what was in you that said, I want to be better at something that you didn't go to school for or didn't really put, you know what I mean? So what was it in you that said, I want to be better?
Well, I think the first part of it was, one, is this something I really want? If your
Wow.
answer is yes, then the second thing is, okay, well, I didn't get the results that I wanted. What can I change to maybe get the outcome I think would be something I would be happy with?
Wow.
Um, and so obviously, every girl who competes in pageants wants that crowning moment. Like, this is what we've worked for. So I did still really want that. But looking back on my performance, I knew there was a lot of work to be done.
Right, right, right.
And so, once you realize, like, yes, there's a lot of work, it's, are you willing to put in that work? Are you willing to face that criticism?
Yes.
And I think if the answer is yes, then there's nothing that can hold you back.
Do you see why she's amazing, everyone? Do you see why I'm in awe of her? Listen, she said, do you want it? That's the first, I love that, Jamie. The first question, do I really want this?
Mm-hmm.
And am I willing to do what's necessary to obtain what it is that I really want? So without divulging too much, now you said you kind of had your first pageant experience at the age of 18. At what age or how many years was it until you became Mrs. All-Star United States 2019?
Let's see, I can do math. So 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And did you do pageantry each year or
No.
Or was there a break?
So I competed again when I was 22 in the Miss America system, and I had won my local, and I had done really well at state. I was third runner-up for Miss Colorado. After that point, I was really excited, like I'd done so well after doing so terribly in my first pageant, but I just felt like I needed some time. Like I'm young, I need to figure out who I am and what do I really want. Like, that was fun. Did I prove a point to myself? Maybe, I don't know. But I just needed to kind of go do some soul searching. So I did that. And 8 years later, I decided to compete again in the Mrs. All-Star United States pageant. And I won.
Yes, you won.
Amazing. I could have given up after that third time.
Right.
But so much time had passed. I learned so much about who I was that I just thought, man, this is still something I really want to achieve.
Yes.
How can I make this happen?
Wow.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, what is it that you really wanted to achieve?
I really wanted my voice to be heard, I think. I wanted my message, broadcast.
Wow.
I wanted all the hard work that I'd put in over the last, 8 years into myself. I wanted some sort of, like, I guess, recognition for it, but also, like, just, I don't know. I think just a testament to, like, hard work is really what it comes down to.
Yes. Just truly amazing. Well, we are so proud of you that you continue to pursue what it is that you wanted, and you knew what it was, and you went back, and she came home with the crown, although she was already a queen, right? But she came home with the crown, and just so proud of you and just your persistence. And again, this show is about never giving up on your dream. And so 12 years later, and I love what you said, Jamie, was you kept learning, right? Every experience was about learning something new and growing from it, right? So I want to just say, and what's powerful was, you didn't say I wanted the crown. You didn't say the sash. You didn't say the fame. You didn't say the notoriety. You said, I wanted my voice to be heard. And that is so powerful. And I want to ask you, what do you want to say? You had that platform, and now you have this platform. What would you like for young girls or just everyone that hears your voice? What do you want them to hear now?
Well, I can say thanks to, the All-Star United States pageant, I found my voice. It's definitely made me more vocal. To all the young girls, I would just say, you matter. You totally are acceptable to take up space wherever you are. Wow. Your opinion matters. Your thoughts matter. And to not be afraid to speak what's on your mind, because people want to hear it. You might not feel like it, but they do, and they value what you think.
Wow. You see why I mean, all of this young lady, just so love her, so inspiring, and so proud of you. Just really so proud of you, Jamie. I gotta ask you, listen, when I read your bio, it talked about how you're pursuing a master's degree in machine learning and artificial intelligence. The first thing that came to my mind was Steven Spielberg or like movie like E.T. or like whatever that movie was, but I can't think of the name of it. But I'm like, is when do you ever stop? Like listen, to me, it's like you have this drive in you,
Mm-hmm.
and that you need to pursue and conquer. And the one thing I love about it is that you do it. Like you don't just say it, but you set your mind to it and you achieve it. So please tell me, what is artificial intelligence and machine learning?
So to be honest, that was not even on my radar. I had started my master's a year before I won the pageant, and so I was about halfway finished through the program. I won my pageant, decided to take a year off from school to focus on my duties as a title holder.
Right.
And throughout that time, at work actually, they had Amazon Web Services come in and do a week-long workshop on machine learning for employees. And so that was really my first exposure to it. And I'm one of those people that I feel something just feels really right. And I was just like,
Wow.
okay, I need to explore, like, what is this? And so during that week, I just was like, I absolutely love this. It's something I want to learn more about.
Yeah.
Decided to switch programs. And so now I'm pursuing that as my master's instead of just software engineering.
Oh, just software engineering. I'm just saying just.
Yes.
I love it. I love it, Jamie. I love it. I am just so, I'm like, I can't wait to see what you do next, right? Like what is there something else on the on your vision board, right? Is there something
yeah.
else that you haven't shared with us in your bio?
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
She said well, name a few for us if you could.
So as far as mountain climbing, one of my goals since I got into the sport was climbing Denali, which is the highest peak in North America.
Wow. Wow.
So I want to do
Amazing.
that. My husband and I want to start a family eventually.
Awesome. 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 And I was going to actually ask you, and we'll come back to the artificial intelligence conversation. But since you brought up the mountain climbing, everyone, listen. Please, if you follow this young lady on social media, you will see her love of climbing mountains. And I got to ask you because you have achieved so much in so many areas. How many mountains would you say that different mountains, like in different areas, would you say that you've climbed thus far?
Probably a dozen or so.
Okay. And are you one of those outside of the one that you mentioned? Are there any other mountains that you want to climb?
Yes, particularly the one in my background, but my husband has vetoed that, so I will not be climbing that one.
Okay. Okay. And which one is that?
This is K2.
Okay.
It's one of actually it's really dangerous, so I understand. But I just think it's a beautiful mountain. I'd love to climb it, but it's just extremely dangerous, so that's probably not going to happen.
Now you have to tell me, Jamie, how did you get started in mountain climbing?
So I love documentaries, and on Netflix there was a documentary actually about K2.
Okay.
It was a tragic year. 12 climbers, no, 8 climbers actually lost their lives.
Mm.
But despite all the tragedy, I was just in awe of what those climbers were hoping to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen anything like that before.
Right.
Just seeing them on the snow and their ropes and their harnesses, and
Yeah.
just like, wow, that's really cool. Like, I'd like to give that a try.
Wow.
So I found the Colorado Mountain Club, and they had some mountaineering schools through there, and so I went through all of those classes, taught a few for a year, and just really fell in love with the sport. As I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like being an astronaut, but here on Earth, exploring places not many people have been before. It was really cool.
Awesome. No fear?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm like, listen, I see you on the side of mountains, on top of mountains. Hey, I'm like, no fear? Oh
No,
my
tons
goodness.
of fear. I think what's changed, the fear is still there. I'm just able to compartmentalize it a little bit better. So when I am in a situation where I would normally be freaking out,
Right,
I'm
right, right, right.
able to just be like, okay, you know, you've trained for this, like trust your skills, trust your
Right.
gear, like you'll be okay. And so I'm
Amazing.
able to just kind of turn off the fear for a little bit
Right, right,
out of the
right.
hair situation.
Wow. Listen, listen. Is it true that you're basically hanging by a rope
Mhm.
and that's all on the side of a mountain?
Sometimes, yep.
Oh my goodness. Have you had any scary situations like that, like where things didn't go exactly the way that you thought,
Yeah,
and sort of tell us a
a
little bit
few.
about that?
So the first one, I actually was caught in a kind of a wet slide, a little bit of an avalanche. Um, but all fortunately, the only thing that happened was a sprained wrist. Everything was
Wow.
completely fine otherwise. And then this summer, unfortunately, there was rock fall. I hurt my hand a little bit. But those are the dangers. Those are the risks that you accept, like going into it.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
I just want to ask a simple question, Jamie. Why don't rock climbers or a mountain climber, why don't they wear parachutes?
So that's a different sport entirely, actually.
No, no, I don't mean for a sport. I mean for safety. I
For
mean,
safety,
like what? Like you should be required to, like, in case something happens and you have a chance, right?
maybe, but I think that would only help you if you were jumping from, I don't know, I guess the top, the summit.
Okay,
But you
okay.
got to get there first, and that's the challenge.
That's true. I hear you. I hear you. So I want to ask you how long, what's the longest time it has taken you to climb a mountain?
So I climbed Gannett Peak a couple years ago, and that's one of the, I think, second or third most remote in the country. And that was geez, I think 6-day trip.
Oh my
It was
goodness.
around maybe a little bit more than 50 miles round trip.
Wow.
And that,
And,
yeah, so it took us about 2 days to get to the mountain. Then we had to
okay.
climb the mountain and then hike back out. And that was with a backpack weighing probably 55 pounds.
Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
So not only are you intelligent, you're super strong.
Well, I was after that trip.
Wow. Oh my 55-pound backpack. Like you have to,
Mhm.
wow. Now, so are you sleeping on the mountain?
Mhm.
I've seen movies, right? You know what the movies and how they have the tents and how they sit
Yeah.
on the, so is that how it really is?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Wow.
And
That's
to me, that's the most fun.
wow. Wow. It's not like cold. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I mean, I mean, how do you stay warm on the
So
side of a mountain?
the secret to that is I like to drink hot tea before bed and then fill up a water bottle with hot water to keep in
Uh-huh.
my sleeping bag, and I kind of cuddle that at night.
Wow, amazing, amazing. Well, listen, I am in awe of that and how you are. Listen, y'all, she climbs mountains. I'm I'm gonna say it again. She is an engineer. She has degrees in engineering and astronautics. I mean, just so amazing. And she climbs mountains. She is 2019 Mrs. All-Star United States, and more. I mean, this is only the beginning of her journey, right? She's gonna climb that mountain and she's pursuing master's degrees, artificial
Mhm.
intelligence, and machine learning. I'm like, when, Jamie, do you stop? Like, but
I
listen,
know.
continue. Listen, it's what is it that drives you? What is it like if you had to define what is it that drives you to just keep pursuing? Because
Um,
because most people, a lot of people don't have that, right? Most people like it's too hard. I tried the first time, I tried the sixth time, it didn't
yeah.
work. But you have this mindset where you're willing to process everything in your mind and say,
Mhm.
you know what, I'm going to learn from this experience and I'm going to do it better.
Mhm. It is hard.
What?
Um,
Yeah.
I think anything worth achieving should be hard, because if it were easy, everyone would be doing it. But I just
True. So true.
like life is meant to be lived, and if there's something I'm even a little bit curious about, I'm going to explore that curiosity. I want to know, is this something I find interesting? Did I learn a little bit about it and decide like, no, that's not for me?
Yeah.
But you get just one life, and I think
Mm.
God wants us to make the best of it.
Yes, he does. Yes,
He
he does,
wants us
Jamie.
to, love him, but also to go out and live in this world that he's created for us.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now you just spoke about God, and I want to ask you about your faith. So
Mhm.
how has your faith played a part of your journey thus far?
I mean, it would not be possible without God's work.
Wow. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And you know me, well, you know me on social media. I'm also a faith, it's been my whole foundation of who I am, right? And just moving forward and just believing. How important is it to just have the ability to believe that you can?
Yeah, it's hard at times,
Yeah, yeah.
when you are failing, when things aren't going your way, it's easy to become discouraged. It's easy to question your faith. But
Mm.
those are the times when, you need God most, and He's there.
Yes, yes, he is
And so
there
it's
always.
hard, it's uncomfortable. It's still something I deal with, which is
Right.
leaning into that feeling of, despair or uncomfortableness, and really just embracing it for what it is and learning from it
Awesome. I love
and
it.
coming closer to God because of it.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love how you speak. I love your vision. I love your drive. I love your purpose. If you had to describe who GEIMI Renee Chism is in a word or one, two, or three words, say, what what words would you use?
Energizer Bunny.
Energizer Bunny. Now listen, I never would have, although I get it, but I never would have thought Energizer Bunny. Amazing,
That is the
amazing.
most accurate description, I think.
Wow, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think people can probably say the same about me. Like I am up every morning between like 4 and 4:30, right? And I'm just up going and kind of get to bed somewhere around 10 o'clock at night, 10:30, and we do it all again.
Mhm.
So but so amazing. So proud of you. And I understand that you also instruct and you mentor young people.
Yes.
Why do you feel it's important to take the time out of your such a busy schedule, what you're doing, just your purpose, your drive, to mentor youth?
So I think young minds are the most malleable.
Mm,
Um, you can go into a young person's life, and it doesn't even have to be some wild or extravagant experience or a bit of information. Just expose them to different things, teach them, nurture them, love them, and you can change their entire course of life.
wow, yes you can. Yes you
And I
can.
find that to be really important. You know, the work I do is with kids that maybe wouldn't normally have the chance to attend a climbing course or,
Right, right, right.
you know, maybe their parents aren't interested in math and science, so they're not going to build rockets with them. And
Right.
so I think being someone who is willing to go into their lives and do those things with them, who knows what you could, ignite within them.
Yes. I listen. Do you see why I love this? Listen, this young lady is so amazing. My goodness, I'm being inspired because you're talking about rockets, right?
Mhm.
Talking about building, and so many people's mindsets are limited. Can't even think beyond their own environment. And you're talking about rockets and space and mountains. I am. It's such a wonderful place to be in a presence like yours of someone that has that faith and that belief and that is putting that in them to ignite. I love that. I love the way that you said it, to ignite the fire that's in them, like the flame that's
It's
in them. Yes, it is, Jamie. It's there. And our job is to inspire, to uplift, and I love that, to ignite it, right? So it can learn how to burn on its own,
yeah.
right? And go forth itself. I love that. I so love that. I wanted to, and of course, you can feel free to always chime in. But if I want to become a mountain climber, I
Mhm.
come to your class. What is the first thing you're going to tell Troy? Outside of you have the wrong equipment, you have the wrong stuff on. Outside of all of that, what is the first serious thing that Jamie is going to ask me?
Ask you is probably why. Like, why
Mm.
are you here? What are you
Wow.
hoping to get out of this?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And, normally the response I get from, little seventh graders are, oh, to have fun, or I wanted to try climbing, or my parents a climber.
Right. Right.
Um, and then seeing them go up on the wall the first time, some are just like, oh, I'm not scared, like totally fearless, just going all the way up to the top,
Yeah.
no fear inside. And we have, some girls that maybe will just go a couple inches off the ground. Um, and the ones that are a couple inches off the ground, you pay extra attention to because, by the end of the course, you want them all the way at the top.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. How long is a typical course before what how long is the training before you actually go and climb an actual mountain?
Um, Probably, so we work on kind of the school year with the girls. So it
Okay.
would be from fall to kind of Thanksgiving would be the first session, and then we do a couple more sessions in the spring and then go outside probably right before summer.
Awesome. 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 I want to ask you, do you if someone wants to invest in a young person to take your class,
Mhm.
is there a way to donate, or is there a way?
Absolutely. So I work with an organization called Women's Wilderness. And
Awesome.
so all of their information's on Facebook, on Instagram. You can Google them. But please, 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 if you are interested in donating, Women's Wilderness, your donation pays for, gear for a student for either
Awesome.
a climbing course or, a week-long backpacking trip over the summer. It really makes a difference to these girls' lives.
Awesome. Awesome. Listen, well, whatever we can do to help to support that, we are going to do that, Jamie, because we are a fan of yours. We are we are definitely a fan of yours. I got to ask you, is there anything that you would change about your journey thus far? I mean, you've done so much, and sometimes we get to a point in life, right, and we look back and say, man, if I knew this now, what I knew then, I wish I could have gone that way or done that. Is there anything that you wish that you could kind of go back and do over again?
I don't think so. I think everything that happened when it was supposed to.
Mm,
Um, Had it been any sooner, I probably wouldn't appreciate it as much as I do.
right,
I
right,
truly cherish all the accomplishments that I've had in my life and when they have occurred,
right.
um, and just can look back and reflect on those and learn from them and, apply what I learned to the next thing.
Awesome, awesome. I gotta ask you, what picture do you ever get down?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever get like, and if you do, what is it? What helps keeps you what help keeps you so again with that drive again? But when you get down in those moments, what helps to kind of pick you back up again?
I really just like to unplug and go outside. I will usually try and go for maybe a weekend climbing trip, just pick somewhere remote in the mountains where I don't have any service. It's just myself and whoever I'm with, and we're just really enjoying the environment, the silence, just the peace of being outside. The mountains are really where I go to just recharge and just get right with myself.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now you're always going with someone, right? You're not going to come out by yourself, right?
No, no.
Okay, I just want to make sure because listen, y'all. Every time I see these amazing photos, it's like just her, right? It's like, hi, I'm on top of a mountain. So like, there are other people with you, right? Just want to make
Yes.
sure we're clear. Okay,
Yeah, no, I've got wonderful climbing partners.
okay, awesome, awesome. I want to ask you about about preparation.
Mhm.
So tell me, do you prepare differently for mountain climbing or as you would for pageantry or as you would for now going to pursue your master's degree? Or do you have a similarities in terms of how you prepare yourself?
Um, I'd say as far as, pageantry and mountain climbing, the physical aspect is probably the same. Um, but one thing that's consistent, whether it's academic or physical, it's I like to kind of establish a plan of progression.
Yeah,
What are the
yeah,
steps I need to take to get from A to Z? Because there's got to be
awesome.
something in between. I can't just go
Yes,
from, oh, I really want to do this to I'm expecting a degree in my hand.
that's
So,
right. That's right.
what do I need to do to get there and how am I planning on doing it?
Yeah,
I'm a planner, so I like to have that. at least written down somewhere.
Awesome. Listen, now, Jimmy, are you the kind of person that you know what you want to do every hour of the day? Because it
No.
seems like you might, no?
No. I know
Wow.
what I need to do each day, but when I do it is up in the air.
Wow. Wow. What a great comeback, Jimmy. I love it. I love it. That was a great comeback. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, I do a little bit of like a word play. And of course, we're going to give you, once we're done, we're going to give you the floor and you can just share in any way that you want in terms of inspiring the world, as you already have done and will continue to do. Again, this broadcast will be recorded. Again, it'll be shared on YouTube as well. And people can go back and just watch it and just learn about you and how you became you, right? The amazing person that you are, right? So I just do a little bit of a word game, and I'll just give out a word, and you just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. So the first word is greatness.
My dad.
Awesome, awesome, phenomenal. I love that. I love that. The next word is inspire.
Actually, life comes to mind.
Wow, I love that, Jamie. I love that. The word is stars.
Definitely aerospace. That's where
Awesome.
I went.
Listen, that's where she is. She is among the stars. That's so wonderful. The next word is dream.
Never too small or too big.
I love it. I love it. I love it. The next word is today.
Happy.
Awesome. The next word is future.
Right.
I love it. Don't you see why? Listen, I'm gonna have to bring Jamie back on the show, right? That's to continue to do another hour of discussion. The next word is strong.
Also, my dad and my mom.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we're so proud of your parents. They have given us a jewel. So thank you to them for giving us you and just the light that you are, Jamie. Just the light of inspiration that you are, and the hope that you give to so many around the world. And we're just so proud of you. I am. Listen, I met this young lady once, one time, and it's just because I think the like-mindedness, right? I think you're at the star level, and my what I see is also it's among the stars. I see beyond the now, right? And I know there's more. So even within the space of the lane that I'm in, I know there's more. So and it doesn't have to be more stuff. It can just be more knowledge. It can be more of just growth where I am, right? And so I don't have to move always, but sometimes it's necessary to move. And so again, I love your social media. I love your Instagram, everything. And again, I was going to talk about your husband. I mean, you take amazing photos with your husband. I mean, what
He's
just tell just tell me what how important is to have someone in your space that believes in you?
I would say it's everything. Prior to meeting my husband and having him in my life, it was my parents that were always very encouraging and supportive. And now that I have him, it's just that extra bit of encouragement
Awesome.
that I didn't know I needed. And he's always been incredibly supportive, no matter how wild my dreams might be.
Awesome.
He's right there with me. He's going through this with me. We're together. We're one, and he's never wavered in that.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Now, does he climb mountains too?
He'll go with me sometimes.
Okay, but does he actually climb, or does he get like a helicopter to the top and wait for you there?
He's more of a rock climber. I'm more of a snow and ice climber. So he prefers to go in the warmer months, whereas winter is more my fun season.
Oh, you know what? I never gave that any thought, Jamie.
Mm.
So there are people who either walk or climb in the snow as opposed to a mountain that has no snow.
Mm-hmm.
So is the training different?
Um, yes. So for snow and ice, it's a lot more technical.
Okay.
I mean, rock is incredibly technical by itself, and then if you're doing rock, snow, and ice, then you have to put all of that together, and that's a wide range of skill sets. I've done that before. That's a lot of fun. But
Wow.
no, my husband likes more rock climbing, and I'm more of the hunker down in the snow person.
Wow. Well, I gotta ask you, and then before I give you the floor, what is that feeling like to be on the side of a mountain and just looking and seeing, or even on top of a mountain to look and just see like the glory, to see this the space, to see what is that like?
After you get to the summit, when it's been an incredibly difficult climb, halfway through you're thinking, why am I here? Why did
Yeah.
I get up at 2 in the morning? Is this worth it? Should I just bail now?
Right,
And
right,
then
right, right.
stick it out and you get to the top and you're just like, wow, like it's so peaceful, it's beautiful, it's serene. Um, it is worth it.
Awesome.
And I feel that mountain climbing is really about struggle and it's about connecting with yourself and
Mm.
really just pushing to see how far like you can really go both physically and mentally.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I have two more questions, I think, if I can remember this, but I wanted to ask you before you start climbing,
Mhm.
because I know you go, I'm sure you're going by different guides and reports, right, of the weather and how things are going to be. Have you ever set out to climb and the reports were all good, right? Everything was good, but something in your gut just didn't feel right and you went on that? Or do you just go with what the reports say? Have you ever gone on like a gut sort of like
Yeah.
something
I was out on a climb once, I think with wind chill, it was -40 out.
oh my, -40?
Yes, everything was covered.
Wow.
Um, but I remember watching the slopes, and so it was a large team of us. And so when you're on, avalanche terrain, you cross one at a time so that the combined weight of the team doesn't trigger a slide.
Right.
And so I remember we were crossing, and you can see kind of the slab of snow start to break, and that's a bad sign.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
so we decided, it's probably not worth it. Conditions are starting to look pretty bad. For our safety, we
Yeah.
should get out
Wow.
and turned around. Mhm.
Wow. Awesome. Well, yeah, I let's say because I always thought about that, like, because we all have this gut feeling, right? But then sometimes because we're with a group, and we put so much time into the preparation and getting ready to go, it's like, well, okay, let's give it a try. But so you do go on your gut at times.
Yeah, you have to be careful. There's something
Yeah.
called summit fever, which is
Okay.
ignoring your gut feeling, and that's when bad things happen.
Got you. Got you. Wow. Absolutely. Well, listen, if anybody's going to be my guide, I'm going to make you my guide because I'm going to make sure I'm going to
Absolutely.
be all right. I'm going to make sure I be okay. Well, listen, Jamie, I can't, there's so much more that I would definitely love to just, explore with you and just share with you and just kind of even know more. Listen, I want to bring you back at some point because I'm definitely wanting to
Love
hear
to.
more about your journeys and further in your mountain climbing, your pursuit of your master's degree, uh, just even what's next, climbing that, what's the name of that mountain you said you're going to climb?
Denali.
Denali. And
Mhm.
I'm like, listen, and listen, it was so beautiful. I asked Jamie, I said, Jamie, there was one post of you on a mountain. I was like, this is so, I said, can I please get a picture? I asked her to send me, and I'm so honored. I have it. So we're doing some work in the house now. But yeah, once we get it settled, but it's just an honor to have that photo. And thank you so much. I appreciate that. That meant a whole lot to me. It really did. So I thank you so much. I want to give you the floor again. Any words you want to share again with those, whether young or of age, who just are having a difficult time, right? One, they might not know that purpose, but if they do know the purpose, just are uncertain about taking that next step, facing challenges, facing their fears, right? And I talked about before the show began, one fear that I had and just learning how to face your fears.
Mhm.
And you know, just going forward. So I'm going to give you the floor just to share in your own way of encouragement to all those who are watching our show now.
Yeah, I think what I would say is to be comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. All of us have been there. I'm still there working through it. It's okay to feel that way. But if there's something that you're curious about or trying to pursue or unsure of, just keep going. Don't give up. Persevere. Give that worry and anxiety you have to God, because He's going to just relieve that and show you the way. Just don't give up. And there's no dream that's too big or too small or anything that can't be achieved. I think anything truly is possible if you are willing and open to receiving it. Yeah, just get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and go from there, because that's where the transformation happens.
Listen, everybody, this is GEIMI Renee Chism, mountain climber, software engineer, pursuing her master's degree in machine learning, artificial intelligence. Oh, I did have another one. Listen, GEIMI, real quick. Is there anything that you want to, without sharing any of your secrets, is there anything that you would love to build or to make or to, now don't share nothing that you can't share publicly now. I don't want you to get in trouble. But is there something that you would like to, or an area, right? Because I've seen people like build like artificial arms for people that have lost their limbs, right? Or different. Is there an area that you might be interested in going into?
Honestly, I think my focus right now with machine learning and artificial intelligence is, learning more about the field so that I can best apply it to my current role. Long term, I think I would love to start my own company. I'm not quite sure what that would look like, but that is something I've talked about for a long time. And I would love to have it be machine learning focused. And I just think there's a lot of avenues I could pursue with this degree. So I'm kind of just getting started now. And once I learn more, I'll be able to kind of hone in on something. But oh yeah, there's plans.
I love it. Are you seeking investors? Listen, everyone, invest in this young lady. Invest in her. Yes. Listen, if you have money and you want to invest, connect with this young lady. Where can we find you, GEIMI? You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. My name is GEIMI Renee, so GEIMI RENEE.
So please connect with her. I'm sure she will take checks for $500,000 to help start her business, $1 million, $5 million.
Yeah,
She's open to it all. And listen, I guarantee you will get your return. Without a doubt, because if GEIMI's going to have anything to do with it, it's going to work. So have no doubt about it.
I hope so.
No, absolutely, GEIMI, without a doubt. Listen, I believe in you. I am just, again, I sing a song. You sing a song that what God has for me is for me. And so what God has for you, it is for you. And so that there's doors that he has set up in front of you that you haven't even seen yet, that's going to reveal themselves in your life so that you can continue to inspire others to believe and have hope and dream, especially young girls, right? Who may not ever think about that door, going down that road or that path, but now seeing you as an example that, yeah, I can be an engineer. Yes, I can dream about stars and rockets and space and have no limits, because the universe is mine, right? My destiny is the universe on which I walk and believe and move. And so we thank you so much, GEIMI Renee Chism. No, again, I'm honored. And again, you promised me a photo shoot right when you come to the East Coast again.
Yes,
right?
yes, absolutely.
All right, y'all. Listen, you heard it live, right? It's on tape, right? So we are so we're so proud of you, GEIMI. Again, thank you so much. Any last words you want to share?
I just want to thank you. was so honored that you asked me to be on the show again. I just love chatting with you. I think you're an inspiration. I love just following your journey and seeing what you're up to and reading everything you post to just lift people up. And just thank you, thank you, thank you for having me on the show. And thank
No,
you,
thank
Evelyn.
you. Yes, thank you, Evelyn, so much. Again, we can't appreciate you. Evelyn McLeod, thank you so much. Again, we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you for all that you do in terms of your work and inspiration of those in the pageantry world and just in life, right? She teaches about life. And so thank you so much for all you do. Anything else, Jamie, you want to share?
No, that's
All right,
it.
listen, everybody. This is GEIMI Renee Chism. Please follow her, connect with her. She is an inspiration. Follow her journey. Again, if you want to invest in a young person's life, to take classes in terms of mountain climbing and mentorship, again, what's the name of the organization again?
Women's Wilderness.
Women's Wilderness. And
They're on
so
Facebook,
please,
Instagram,
all right.
online, website, everything.
Well, we were definitely going to be a support to that, and we'll be following up with you, Jamie, because we want to sponsor a young person in any way that we can to just begin to take that journey and take that journey to believe. So thank you so much. Thank you, Jamie, so much, Renee Chisholm. We appreciate. Listen, everybody, thank you so much for joining in, for tuning in another show, Inspiration with Troy Alexander, right here. Every week, we're going to be on here with amazing guests, encouraging you to dream, take that step, and walk with purpose into your destiny. Don't let anything stop you from your dreams. Hold on to it. I know it may get tough sometimes, but listen, I'd rather climb a rocky mountain than a smooth mountain. There's purpose in everything that we go through. So every experience in your life, there is purpose and destiny to hold you, to build you, to make you so when you speak, you can speak with authority of an experience of where you've come from. We thank you tonight for joining us. Be encouraged. Stay connected with us. Remember, we're coming back to back tomorrow night. We have an amazing guest, Miss Lexington. Listen, I'm telling you, coming from South Carolina. Listen, y'all, she's amazing. She is 17 years old and has her own business and so much more. Getting ready to just go on to another level. Thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Everyone, have a great night. And remember, dream. Take that step and walk with purpose into your destiny. This is Troy Alexander. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.